Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. We are continuing to stream through MLK Week. If I'm a little out of it, I apologize. My intention was to come here, wake up early, take care of a few important business things, and then immediately stream. And lately, it's a good problem to have, but I felt very inspired and very excited to work on various projects we have coming up here. And so I keep staying up late and not getting much sleep. Again, a good thing to have. You know, I'm inspired. I want to work on stuff. But I was losing it yesterday. I had not slept very much. But today I was like, screw it. I'm going to wake up early again and get to it. And I ended up waking up at almost 3 o'clock. Seriously, Derek was here in the middle of his stream. And I woke up in the middle of that. Just like, what? Why do I hear Derek's voice? What? So, this is my breakfast. 4:52 p.m. here in California. This is my breakfast. So we're gonna call this stream Breakfast at 5 p.m. stream. Once again, I have a bagel. In case I didn't make it clear enough, a local deli we went to a local deli. Actually, Derek went. And they felt bad because they ran out of stuff, or they had to close early or something. Maybe it was an employment thing. I don't know. But they closed early and they went, "Oh man, sorry. We didn't mean to turn you away. Here." And they gave them so many bagels for free. I mean, we have bags and we're sitting on a mountain of bagels. And but we didn't have any cream cheese, so I picked up some cream cheese on the way. In the spirit of, they did Twitch Plays Pokemon. In the spirit of that, you guys should decide the path. I have 2 forms of cream cheese. This is like Morpheus with the 2 pills. There are 2 pills. But both of them are good though. It's not red pill, blue pill. They're both the red. We have smoked salmon style cream cheese, and we have honey pecan. Which route do we take? Do you take savory, or do you go sweet? Vote in the chat now. Honey? Ooh, salmon. You bought the wrong ones. Slammin' Salmon. Did you guys ever see that movie? Bull. No, I'm thinking of the wrong one. I'm sorry. There was a movie that some of the Broken Lizard guys did called The Baby Makers, and I keep thinking it's Slammin' Salmon because it starts in a restaurant. I remember trying to watch it, and I think that's one of the only movies that actually, I love a good cringe, good or bad, but I cringed so hard when I started the movie that I actually had to turn it off. I cannot make it through this. Slammin' Salmon, I know that's Broken Lizard, but I think Baby Makers was just some of them. I just know it's one guy and Olivia Munn. And there's this dinner scene where he's just making all these kind of unfunny jokes. And then the waiter goes, "Okay, here's your bill." And it's a really high bill. And the guy goes, "Are you sure you can't just dance the bill off for you instead of paying money for it? Can I just dance for it?" And I was like, I have to turn this shit off. All right. What does it look like, guys? From the chat. What does it look like? I couldn't tell. It seemed very split. We're going to have to try both. Oh, God. What is this shit? Water? You got to start this day right. The Rock, if you're watching, once again, I'm starting my day with Zoa Energy with that 100% natural Camu Camu. Derek gifted all of us here with Zoa energy drinks for Christmas. I mean, it was part of a bigger package, but we all got Zoa. So I'm going to sip my Zoe. Now I don't want to say the F word. Let's fucking go. I said it. Okay. So I'm going to eat this, but I figured I would take some Discord calls while I eat my breakfast at 5 p.m. So if you want to, if anyone could post the Discord link in the chat, you just go in. I think, is this an everything bagel? I think it is. I'm not really a bagel person. I've come around lately, so I'm not trying to be anti-bagel, and I doubt I'm going to cut. There's no way I'm going to cut this correctly. And I'm without. Again, just the other day on Twitter, Paul McCartney put up a video where he described the perfect way to eat a bagel, and that is like a sandwich. Yeah, I didn't do too bad here. Like a sandwich, and he says, and if you're worried about the hole, you just put lettuce and it covers both sides of the hole, and then you don't lose any ingredients. So I thought that was funny. I didn't cut it the worst. It could be much worse. I think it's an everything bagel. Yeah, plastic knife. I know. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. Okay. If you're in the waiting room, I think I can drag you into the. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I hope this is set up correctly. It might be. So yeah, join the Discord, click the link, and go into the waiting room, and then I'll drag you into our room where we can talk. Okay. We're going smoked salmon. And I got a lot of cream cheese here, so I'm not going to hold back. So if you're going to look at this and be like, that's too much cream cheese, why would you put that much on there? Then you might as well see yourself out before Twitch puts your account to sleep. Oh. Oh, smoked salmon is popping. Okay, who's calling in? I can't see who's calling in or not. I don't know. There might be callers, but I'm not, the way that they've set this up now, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see here. We're in the Discord. Okay. Bear with me, guys. I'm looking around. I'm making sure that I got this right. Shit. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get this. Oh my God. No. I went into the user settings. I can't get out. There we go. Had to expand this thing to X out. Okay. Drag the name into your channel. Yeah, I get that. It's just for some reason it's not. It's only showing like a couple friends. Okay. I think it's working now. Sorry, for some reason it was just locked into some different view. Okay. Yeah, no clue what I'm doing here. Damn, this sucks. Oh man, I was all set up to do this, and now it's not going. Damn. Everyone set this all up for me and then left. And now I don't know. I'm just looking at a bunch of DMs. I don't know how to get out of here. I don't know if I'm on a different server. I might be. Yeah, where is where do I get into a server? This is so badly designed. No offense, but incredibly bad. Okay, it might not be like expanded enough that I could see what you're talking about. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like not showing everything on here. So maybe if I There's definitely a column on the left side. There it is. Yeah. Oh, wow. I had to scroll to the bottom of. There was just an endless list of people's icons. Oh my God. I had to go all the way to the bottom of that. What the fuck? Yeah, now it makes sense. I see everything. This is exactly how it was supposed to look. Oh my God. Why are there so many on here? These are all different servers? Well, why the fuck do why are there so many servers? There should just be one. Okay. Man, sorry for this absolutely mind-numbing, boring intro here, but you should. Okay. I think this will work. Let me try this now. Hello, Pinchface? Are you there? Pinchface, are you there?
Oh, now can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Sounds like you need to get Johnny in there to clean up some of those servers.
He was in here and he set it up, but again, I don't know what I'm looking at. There's seriously an endless list of people and names on this left column, and people kept saying like, "Oh, you're just click yours," but it's like I had to scroll through the population of a small continent to find the little 64.
I got you.
So I'm sorry about that, everybody. That was really boring. Anyway, did you have a question? I'm going to help myself to the rest of this bagel while you're asking. I'm not being rude. I just haven't eaten.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Well, I am being rude, but I'm explaining. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask how your January's going so far. How would you rate the year as you see it?
You know, I saw somebody today say that, how is it still January? But I'm kind of in the opposite. I feel like, holy shit, we're already we're more than halfway through it. Like, January's almost done? What?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. You know, there's 12 months in the year. You're telling me we're already 1/12 of the way through the year.
Yeah, what is happening? Didn't 2022 just start? That's how I feel. Seems fine so far. Despite there were still a lot of sucky things about 2021, but I feel like just personally, I made the most of it, and I had a really good year. 2022, I don't know yet. As of this month so far, I felt really refreshed and inspired. I'll be honest. I had an extended holiday break. The other guys came in earlier this year, after Christmas was over, they came back to work, but I didn't for a while. Because I had a lot to do around the holidays. Like, we had our movie came out on Christmas Eve. We had a video come out on New Year's Eve and stuff like that. So I did a little more work around the holidays. And because of that, I kind of went off on my own for a longer break. And, so I've honestly spent a lot of this month inspired, but I haven't done anything. I was like cleaning my house and watching Lord of the Rings like that. So I don't know how I feel yet. I've been in my own cocoon.
Yeah, too early to say.
Yeah, but I really needed that. I tell everyone, like, every now and then you can be useless and it feels good. So yeah, I didn't want to deny myself that. I was useless for weeks.
Yeah, you got to do that sometimes,
Yeah.
especially if you've been working hard.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll see, but I'm still feeling inspired. We'll see if that continues. But it has been a bummer. I don't know where you are, but COVID was kind of exploding here, and that was kind of, or like, a lot of the things I wanted to do, and a lot of my friends are in LA. I kind of had to like bail on those plans and seeing them because it's like such a hotbed there right now, or it was. I don't know if it still is right now, but after Christmas it was. So, I'm ready to stop hearing about that shit. But that's my only grievance so far.
Yeah, it's funny. I live in the South. I actually live in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And when the pandemic started, people around here were actually very good about wearing masks. Everywhere I
Yeah.
went, people were wearing masks. And then last year, around October, November, those case numbers started getting very low.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone
Yeah.
was feeling good. We're all vaccinated. Hey, let's kind of be lax on the masks now.
Yeah.
And then this new variant pops up. And instead of a few hundred cases a day, now it's like 9,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
But everyone is like, I already took the mask off. I'm not putting it back on.
Yeah.
So
That's why, back when this started, people were like, okay, come on, it's going down. We can get rid of these things. We can get rid of these things. Why aren't they doing it quicker? But it's like, it's hard because it's so hard to put that genie back in the bottle once you have. So I never really held it against them that they were a little slow to kind of change things. But yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. It's hard. When we were, it really is funny. We went on tour thinking, oh, how's this going to go? How's this going to go? And it's so funny. Like, just like 2020, we found like the perfect moment to do it. Cause I feel like when we went, people were still careful, but no one was scared to be out or anything. And now it's kind of gone back to like, ooh, I don't know. Should I go to this? Kind of thing. So I don't know. It sucks.
yeah.
That's what I'm ready for to go away.
If there's any possible silver lining to look at this, I don't think it's ever going away. But
yeah.
as infectious as this variant is, it might be kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off because it feels like everyone's gonna get it no matter what.
Yeah. I think. I think we're finding ways to live with it, and I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have to keep talking about COVID, whatever.
No. All I was gonna say was like I'm still optimistic that after this explosive last couple of months, we're still in a better situation than we were a year ago when it was like,
yeah,
is there gonna be a vaccine for that? Oh, I'm hearing there is, but can I get it? Oh, you're not gonna be able to get it. Oh, there was still that, and now we're not like that. Now it's like there's a million things you could do to help. So hopefully that will make it a better situation. I'm optimistic in the next few months. The only thing that I think will suck is I do think like the summer cons and stuff, I think they'll happen. I'm optimistic. I think they will. But I still, because you have to plan things so far in advance, I still think they're going to be lacking when it comes to like international guests, or something like that, where it's like they would have had to plan that right now, and no one wants to do that. So that's the only thing I think is going to be a little bit. Things are still going to be a little weak, maybe, but I'm optimistic. I still think this is going to be a nice year. I think it will evolve into one eventually.
Yeah, I hope so. I'll go ahead and let someone else hop on here, but before I go, I wanted to say one thing. I was listening to you and Johnny on Bagel Talk.
Oh yeah.
And one caller called in, and he was talking about that game store in Michigan, new Super Game Time.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Google reviews, he wasn't short selling it. They are hysterical.
Really?
And what he didn't mention is That guy will go so crazy negative on someone, but he will also go the opposite direction. If someone leaves a positive review,
Oh.
it's like they are getting sucked off to the fullest extent. It's honestly hilarious. You should check it out if you get a chance.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, hey, you know, as long as he's not just dwelling on the negative, I guess that's good.
Yeah, but the bad ones are like, yeah, he's calling the police. He's traced you and everyone who's affiliated with you. You've all been flagged.
My God. Okay, well, maybe I take that back. I never use. I agree with the chat. I never use it. Those kinds of reviews and stuff. I always take them with a grain of salt. The thing that I look for with reviews online, especially when it comes to like restaurants, is I look for like the black and white stuff. Like, you know, this place gives you this, but they never give you forks. So make sure you ask for a fork. You know, stuff like that. That's valuable to me. But positive or negative to me, it's like, I don't know. I see negative reviews and it's like, I didn't like that they had the Harry Potter movies on TV because that's witchcraft. You know, it's like, that's not was the food good? Like what, you know, food. Stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, all those kind of reviews always strike me as a little funny. I think I've definitely brought this up before, but we still quote this all the time. It's been like a decade, but I remember wanting to stay at a hotel near Disneyland once in like 2011 and looking at reviews of the Grand Californian Hotel connected to Disneyland. And there was a super like 0-star review that was like, okay, I wanted to stay here with very specific parameters and they did not meet them. My doctor says I have to have cold soda every hour. They brought soda to the room. Thank you, room service. It wasn't cold enough. How can I get colder soda? That still makes me laugh every time that they spiked the reviews because the soda wasn't cold enough. Also, I think Derek was having a laughing attack, just like, what doctor is prescribing cold soda?
Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper.
Damn, you just zinged that one out.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the whole time.
That was brilliant. Let's end the call on that note because we're not going to top it.
All right.
Thank
for
you
taking
very
my call,
much.
Rocco.
Thanks. Bye. That was great. Oh, that was the perfect ending to that call. You just want to keep it, preserve it. I'm feeling a lot more awake now thanks to this pineapple coconut Zoa energy. And if you notice, I'm not crashing during, I'm trying to, if The Rock, I don't know if The Rock watches this, but I want that sponsorship. If you notice, I'm not crashing during the stream, and it's because this has natural caffeine, none of the fake stuff. Okay, I'm going to try honey pecan cream cheese on this side of the bagel. We're going sweet on this side. See what we get. Okay. It's delicious. That's really good. But with this type of bagel, I think this is an everything bagel. It's got something else on it. There might be like little diced onions or something. It doesn't go great with that. I think it needs the smoked salmon is the way to go on this. Like if it was a sweeter bagel, that would go really well, but all right. Who else is on Discord? Let's talk. Is this person's name Settings, Kevin? Your name is Settings? Hello.
This is Kevin.
Hello, are you there?
Hey.
Yo.
Hey, I just tuned in. I'm not sure. Are we just like, can we ask a question? Is there any topic or anything like that?
You can ask a question. You can make a comment. You can do whatever you want.
All right. Well, first, is that drink actually good? I can't tell if it's like.
Oh, Zoa Energy is the best thing to happen to energy. It is the pineapple coconut. It's sugar free, so you know it's good because sugar is bad. And it has. You're asking if it's good, but maybe you didn't hear me the first time. This has natural camu camu.
What's that?
You hear me on that one?
What is that?
Natural. I'll say it real slow. Natural camu camu. If you thought this had artificial camu camu, you're fucking joking yourself.
No, The Rock wouldn't accept anything.
Hell no.
That's not natural.
He picked it himself. He went out into the forest and found camu camu and grabbed it by the roots. I don't know. Does it have roots? And he squeezed it like a human heart right into the pot, and he stirred it, and into the can it went. It's good. It's tasty. For sugar-free, because normally sugar-free energy drinks are pretty nasty. I'll have a sugar-free Red Bull. That's a sugar-free one that I will have. Like I had it on tour because that Red Bull's Red Bull and it gets you jacked. But this is actually for a sugar-free. I've had a couple flavors of this. They had a berry one too that we had on tour. They're actually pretty tasty. They're not bad.
Are they carbonated?
Yes, but not like super carbonated. Like you drink one of these Zevia drinks over here and you're belching for 6 hours. But this, it's like not soup. It's like not as much, but it's good. It's actually, I will say it's like pretty tasty.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
So anyway. I have a question if that's cool.
Yeah.
What is the biggest or like most embarrassing lie you've ever been caught up in? Like
embarrassing lie?
Like as a kid, like I remember telling some other kid that I had like a corrupted Game Boy cartridge that like where the Pokemon cartridge, like the Pokemon would like die. And then he's like, I was like, oh, I didn't bring it to school today. And he said, my friend's like, oh yeah, we'll bring it tomorrow. And I just kept like doubling down on that. And then the next day I showed up. I didn't have it. I think I just said I lost it or something. Something stupid like that. I feel like kids do that pretty often. Maybe
yeah. I remember as a kid, I really wanted to. This is going to sound weird, but I really wanted to do like, how do I describe this? I really wanted to do like mysterious shit when I was a kid. So like, this is going to sound stupid, but I made a bunch of like invitations to a secret society. Like I made, like one night I stayed up really late and made like 20 of them. And I would like hide them in the bathroom. Like if you found this, meet here for the secret society. You know, I wanted to do something. You know, I think I watched Are You Afraid of the Dark and I loved that like these kids met in the forest and told scary stories. You know, I always wanted to do mysterious stuff. And then, so I would leave those there. And then I went into the bathroom and some kid peed all over him. It was literally in the urinal. And they asked me if I made them. They were like, did you put these in here? Like, why are these in here? And I just was like, nope, no, I don't know. Like I wanted to maintain the mystery. I was like, nope, I don't know. I'm not sure how those are in here. And they're like, you're the only person that writes like this. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they're trying to imitate me so that you think it's me, but I don't know. For some reason I wouldn't cop to it. And I think I was just embarrassed because the kid pissed all over him. But
yeah, the teachers probably totally knew it was.
Yeah, and then like some staff had to clean that out of there, and they were like, "Rocco, don't put a bunch of like stuff in the toilet." And I was like, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me. You didn't write these. I didn't put them in there." Well, but I don't know anything about them actually. I didn't know. It was like everyone knew, but I kept holding to it, and I felt so bad. So I did that, and then when that didn't work, later this is going to sound even weirder. Sorry, I keep thinking I can eat this bagel and talk at the same time, and it's a really terrible idea. So that didn't work, and then months later, I did a thing where I drew a picture of myself, like a blueprint, almost like a robot blueprint, and I made it look like I was a cyborg. Like I found grid paper and I drew a picture of myself with like I was like cybernetic eye and mechanical arm, and like it was like almost like it was a blueprint for how I was built if I was a robot. And I hid it in my binder, and I kept doing this thing where I would accidentally drop my binder and it would fall out because I wanted people to think like, is he a robot? You know what I mean? Like I thought like kids would think I was a robot if I dropped that and they saw a blueprint of like how I was made. Like that really was like, again, I wanted to be like mysterious at school. I really like didn't hang out with a lot of kids outside of school, but I thought like they would all think I was really cool if I was like not human or something. You know what I mean?
Is this in elementary school?
Yeah. Second, first grade, second grade.
I'm picturing like a 8-year-old's drawing of a cyborg.
Yeah. Oh, it was the ugliest thing. I wish I still had it somewhere. Maybe I do. Probably not. But and that was another thing where it was like no one bought it. They were all just like, "What the fuck? Did you draw this?" I was like, no, I don't know. I don't know how that got there. I woke up one day and I had it, and I just made it. And every time I would do something like that, everyone would confront me about it and I would never give into it. Like, no, I don't know anything about it. And I would feel like such a fucking idiot. Like I would go home like, why the fuck did you do that? You fucking idiot. Like they all think you're a dumbass. Why do you keep doing stuff like that? It was just stuff like that. And that would make me like, I would like be at home like I would want to die. Not literally, but it was so, I lived with just embarrassment for like months. And then I would do something like that again. Like I kept doing stuff to make people think I was like, there was something special about me. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Like a mysterious like wanderer came into town. Something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, your first story reminded me of when I was a kid, I got blamed for something that I didn't do. It was like bad. So at school, in elementary school, some kid like destroyed the bathroom. He like emptied the soap containers, smashed the mirrors, and just like clogged all the toilets. And it was like during class, so it kind of narrows down. Like, did somebody go to the bathroom during this period or whatever?
Yeah.
So me and a few other kids had gone to the bathroom during that hour of class. So I get pulled in, and they blame me. Like, oh, so, Kevin, why did you, throw soap on all the mirrors and clog all the toilets? And I'm just sitting there like, oh, I didn't do that. I was, like, I don't know, like drawing something. This is like second or third grade.
Yeah.
I never figured out who it was. I never knew who the other kids were. But I just remember getting like, at our school, they called them ground citations.
Mm.
Where, like, they give you like a note to send home to your parents. I remember telling my parents, like, you didn't do this, right? I was like, no. Like, why would I do that? I had no history of like getting into trouble up until that point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got fucked.
But you didn't. So you felt bad because you got caught, or that you got like stuck with that?
Well, yeah, I was pissed because I got in trouble. Something I didn't do. Kind of
I
like,
thought you were going to tell me that you were lying, and it's like, okay, I actually did do it.
Oh no. That's no. It's like or like, have you ever gotten blamed for something you didn't do? Like, you made those cards, but you didn't piss on them and throw them in the toilet.
Yeah. I think I've told this story before, but me and a bunch of kids, we had a terrible substitute theater teacher in high school who was just this mean woman from New York. And she didn't understand the class. I don't think she was normally a theater teacher. She was just yelling at us. Why is everyone making so much noise? It's like, we're rehearsing our scenes. Like, we make noise. Like, anyway, she stepped out for just a second. And me and my whole group of friends in that class, maybe like 20 of us, one by one started sneaking under the stage because there was a orchestra pit that was covered up. Like the stage like that you would stand on could be folded back, so there's an open orchestra pit. And when they weren't using that, there was a stage over it to cover it. And one by one, me and my friends were just going under the stage so that when the teacher came back, there would be like half the class left. Like she'd get back, like, what happened to half the class? We just thought that'd be funny. And so we did that. There were probably 20 of us down below under the stage. And then all of a sudden we hear her walk above us. She's literally on the stage above, like I'm down here, and we hear her like right up above us yelling at the class. I don't know where half the class went, but they're not going to be happy when they find out. I'm going to punish them and, da-da-da-da-da-da. And one of my friends, who shall remain nameless, was like, she's right above us. I have to hit the stage. I have to hit it as hard. Like, if I hit it as hard as I can, she's going to jump a mile. I have to do it. This is too funny. Like, she's right here. She's going to jump a mile. And we were all like, are you sure? And I've said this before. I never recommend, I never forgot what was said here in response. But I said, I was just like, why would you do that? Like, I was a good kid. I was a pretty innocent kid. And yeah, his response was, because it's fuck. No, I'm sorry. I already messed it up. Because it's funny as fuck. And fuck is pretty funny. So he just, boom. And that woman, I've been told by the people who were outside the stage, she was like airborne. Like she went and landed and was like, how did that happen? Who was that? I'm going to find out who it was. And, she went under the stage and there were just 20 people filing out on the other. Like she went in one side and we're all leaving the other side. So she doesn't know who hit. It was in pure pitch blackness, and she couldn't see down there who hit the stage. One by one over the course of that week, we all got pulled into the office and the principal asked each person, like, you hit the stage, didn't you? No? Okay. Everyone said no. Oh, I never got pulled in. And then at the end of the week, they brought me in and was like, Rocco, we've asked everybody else and nobody hit the stage. And you're the last one. Everybody else said no. So we know you hit the stage. And it was like, I didn't hit the fucking stage. I was the one asking why you did that. Right. But, we talked to everyone else. They all said no. And you're all who's left. So. And we know you did it, buddy. We know. It's like, what the fuck? Do you know how kids work? Like, they all said no. That doesn't eliminate to me. Well, you're the last one, and everyone else said no. They stuck to that, and they gave me a referral, a write-up, detention, all this stuff, and then I went home and told my family, and my mom went. If you've ever seen that scene in Dragon Ball Z where Goku first goes Super Saiyan after he watches Krillin die, like he's just like, he doesn't even know what to do with that anger. Just, and his hair starts standing up. It was like, that was my mom. I saw my mom do that. She was just like, she's like, tell me right now, you didn't hit the stage? I went, no. She's like, okay, I'm talking to this principal. And she went and talked to that principal. And they said the same thing. Well, process of elimination. We went to Rocco and he, and she said the same thing. She's like, do you know what high school kids do? They're not going to rat someone out and they're not going to say they did it. Like, she was seriously like, are you new? Are you new to this job? And after this grilling, I just remember hearing the principal go, yeah, you're right. There's no way to really know. There's no way to really know, who did it. But hopefully we scared some sense into him. And that was it. Yeah. And I was so mad after that, but not as mad as my mom. So anyway, sorry, I went a little long. I know I've told that story before, but I think about it
Your principal sounds like a bit of a numbskull. I'm gonna get off the call. I see a bunch of people in the waiting room. Thanks for taking the
no
call.
worries.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Bye. That guy probably had to go to work or something. Like, Jesus, Rocco, how long are you going to talk about this? Let's talk to Costanza. Costanza. Are you there? Hello, Costanza. Costanza, are you there? Costanza, I'm gonna have to.
Hey, there we are.
Hey, for some reason, I don't know what the deal is. When sometimes I click a certain thing, and like sometimes there's a thing to toggle, and sometimes there isn't. I don't get it. Anyway, how's it going? Hello, are you there? Hello, are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know what's going on. There's
Okay.
there was having some weird effects there. Okay, how's it going?
We're good. Discord's really great about updating and then just changing shit. You know.
Yeah, something.
It's,
I don't know.
It's fun.
Anyway, not your fault. Well, did you have a comment or a question?
No, it's all good. I did have a quick question. It's a little bit of like a deeper cut callback question. I don't know how to phrase it. But just when you guys used to do the old school Christmas casts, you guys would put up highlight videos that were censored for good reason on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then over the years, YouTube has become weirdly lax with that. You know, Filthy Frank, cold ones, just spewing all over the table, not having to edit a thing.
Sure.
I know it's been a long time, but have you guys ever considered popping those maybe back onto the archive unedited?
We haven't really talked about it, but I'm not against that. Yeah, it's very different now because I think all of these websites and platforms and stuff, they have to go through transitions and try to figure out like how to handle stuff. Even last year, like Twitch became the most terrifying place to stream anything because
oh yeah, you guys got tagged.
If you heard one thing, it could be copywritten, you could lose your channel and whatever. But even now, like they're starting to come around like, okay, well, you know, it's more clear now if you have a strike and if you do, we actually warn you to take it down before anything bad could happen. You know, they're still going through some transitions, whereas YouTube has gone through a lot of them already. So yeah, I remember when we uploaded some of those past Christmas casts, yeah, we literally got them immediately taken down. Like, yeah, yo, somebody throws up in this, you can't do it. Like, that's it. And now it's fine as long as you it's like, look, may not be suitable for this age. No ads running on it. No, you put it through enough hurdles that it's like, all right, if all that is okay, you can upload it. And I actually think that's one thing that's gotten better with YouTube. Some things, you know, get worse, but that was, I think, a little bit better.
Well, and also just for preservation's sake too, because it's kind of hard to get a hold of those. Those highlight videos have an old URL to go to you guys' website where you guys are hosting the RAWs, and it just 404s.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to revisit. That's not a bad idea, actually. Maybe as it gets closer to Christmas, because I think uploading it right now might be a little like what, but maybe we can get it ready by then and then upload some of those. I'm not against that though. Or at the least, again, if there's any issue there, maybe they'll be on Patreon or something. You know, a lot of times we archive stuff there where we don't want anyone to mess with it. So
and there's tons of YouTubers who get away with doing like weird like penis stuff, and they're like, yeah, it's on our Patreon if you want to see that for some reason.
Yeah, we were kind of thinking about doing some penis stuff on there too. If anybody at home, you know, again, I put a poll out there. What flavor bagel spread should I use? But we'll do another poll. Would you want to see some penis stuff on Patreon? Like basically, I don't know, you know, funny stuff, but also like cock and ball torture. You could kind of look at it either way. So let us know
what do you do with the donut hole.
Yeah, how to cover. Yeah, you know, Paul McCartney had some pretty good solutions. Maybe another Beatle has, you know, I say another Beatle like any of them are still alive. It's just Ringo. So maybe there's like a Ringo trick. Anyway, so yeah, that's a good idea though. I'll keep that in mind. That you could, you know, find some of those. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's fun to rewatch those through the years, especially as the Christmas cast has changed. And
Yeah.
admittedly, I still have a soft spot for the absolute just chaos
Yeah.
of just like who's gonna pop and who's gonna do it first, who's gonna do it
Yeah.
next, and you guys finish this.
Yeah.
The sheer chaos of the ham incident and
Yeah.
all of that. Not to bring you back to that suffrage.
No. I hear you on that. And I'm on the same page as you. I love those shows too. I like the chaos of it. I think there's a degree of it we can't do. Like once we had like piss and dead fish on the set, we kind of didn't necessarily want to go further with that. And I'm fine with that.
Totally
but
understand why you guys changed the format. Totally get it.
But we'll continue to change it. I don't think like this next one is going to be the same as this year. Or not. So you're very kind about that. Some people I get, this is no joke, and I'm not trying to like whine or cry about it or anything, but every year before Christmas, I will get some of the like meanest, most angry either DMs or emails or whatever. It's the only thing I get. It's weird. Like I don't really get a lot of like pissy messages or whatever, or like, that video you made was shit. You should retire. I don't really get a lot of those. Every now and then there'll be a comment like that, and that's fine. But with the Christmas cast, people really, that's a tradition that means a lot to people, I think. And so at least once or twice before or after Christmas, I'll get one that's like, you ruined my tradition. My Christmas is ruined. This used to be my favorite thing, and you've ruined it. I hope you take a good look at yourself. I'm just like, whoa. Like, okay. I that was understandable to me for a year or two, but it's like, it's been like 6 years since I drank piss. Can we move on? But I'm always down to like change things up and try new stuff too. So I hear the feedback, but it's also like people take it very seriously, and I'm always very surprised.
I get that, and I appreciate the comment about me being polite about it at least.
I want to. Yeah, I like. I think
that
I think you had a great idea.
But you guys are really good about doing things where you do something we didn't know we wanted, and then that becomes a tradition because holy shit, now we want it.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. That's
so much.
That's really good to hear because it's funny. I remember in summer 2020, we were about to announce the cancellation of all the events we were going to, and it's like, man, all I'm going to hear is sadness. Like I really don't want to read all these sad emails I'm going to get. Like what a bummer. And then we did 64X, and it was like, oh shit, keep doing this. It was like, oh, okay,
wow.
So that again, there's other stuff that had been like that, but that was a very valuable lesson. And like sometimes you got to do something out of your sometimes you got to try a new thing and get again, like you said, maybe there's something they don't know they want that now they'll want it. Sometimes there's some value in that rather than doing the same old. So I think that's what we've always tried to hang on to and believe, and that's why we're not necessarily doing the same type of video every week, or whatever. It's like we always want to find like the next thing you didn't know you were going to go crazy over, So I think thank you for bringing that up.
Part of your natural evolution.
Yeah. I think that's why too, it's twofold. Like you might find something new you like that you didn't know about. Okay, cool, fine. But also too, on our end, I think that's what's kept us creative and inspired next year is going to be our 20th year. I can't.
Oh my God.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about that. But
that's awesome. What are you talking about?
There's parts of it that are great and parts of it that are like, what?
Oh,
but
yeah, no, it's cool. I turned 30 this year. I know what you mean, to a certain degree.
You know the feeling, sure. But
yeah.
But I think that's the reason we're doing it, and I still come in like excited to do stuff, and it's not like, oh man, I gotta, I know plenty of YouTube people and streamers and stuff that I won't name who, but I know a handful that are like, they do it and it's their job, but they are fucking over it. Like they are like, oh, I gotta stream for these fucking people, and I gotta, like I've seen that a lot, and I have never ever once had that thought or that feeling. And I think it's because we keep trying to find new things to break out in or new things to try. And it never feels like, oh, this again. Because even if it fails, it's something different to do. And like if it fails, like let's say, okay, we're gonna make a movie this year and we put it out. Well, that was a flop. No one liked it. Well, at least you took a year off then from doing
even then, you learn the guy.
I didn't catch.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm breaking up real fucking bad. Sorry, I think I walked out of Wi-Fi rage. I apologize.
Oh no, what were you saying?
Oh, just the fact that that's even in some of the stuff that maybe hasn't soared as high as maybe you guys wanted. We always end up seeing elements of those things you guys tried in other projects you guys do, and those learning opportunities. You guys have been around long enough. The fans should understand that that's a thing you guys do pretty often.
Yeah, and like I was saying, it's also again, even if it doesn't work, you at least got to take some time off from doing that original thing you were doing. So then when you return to that, it's like, oh, remember this? It's like I remember there was a point in 2007 or 8 or 9, I don't remember, somewhere in that range, where it was like, do we want to do these videos out in public anymore? Like, haven't we done that? Because we were doing that a lot for version 1 and 2. And it was just like, maybe we call it on that. But then we did other stuff. And then when we, it's like, no, always got to try new stuff, do new things. And then when we went back, what did we return? I think our returning video, it was maybe the Assassin's Creed video, or it was some other video like that, where it was like, all right, let's do a more kind of old school Mega 64 video. And then when they did it, it felt like returning to see an old friend. It was like, oh yeah, remember we used to do this, because we took a year off from it, or we took a whatever. So I just think it makes a healthier thing when you're forging your own path rather than at the mercy of algorithms or what is expected, or whatever. Maybe some people can't afford to take that kind of risk, but we've always been very lucky where we have a support system, whether it's ourselves or the people who watch us have always been have always supported us through whatever. So I feel very lucky. Not everyone can maybe be that flexible, but we have, and so that to me is the thing I'm most grateful for. So anyway, not to go around and around on that.
No, absolutely. And not to just slob on your knob all night, but
like corn on the cob.
Exactly. Check in with me and do your job.
Exactly.
But pardon. With the Twitch thing and talking about some people, how they've gotten burnt out on a thing that once was a hobby and a passionate thing for them. One of the things that stands out for you guys really has been the fans you've accrued over the years and how passionate and cool they've been. You always hear these wonderful stories out of game days and all the cons you guys go to. Even the Twitch chat and all of MLK, I've been very active and it's been phenomenal and fun. But you go into some of these bigger Twitch chat groups or Twitch channels, and toxic is just like an understatement. And the chat is moving 5,000 miles an hour. There's 20,000+ people. Everyone's screaming as loud as possible to get their message noticed. And there's bickering and infighting, and the mods are having to work 12-hour shift equivalent just to keep any sense of control. It's definitely a thing, following you guys as long as I have, where the fan base is just as cool as you guys, just as chill, just as posy vibes and all that shit.
Yeah.
Where I'm sure that's not a main factor, but it definitely helps when your chat isn't a topic this week is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we try our best. And again, no community is perfect. I know there's issues with things all the time, and I'm not perfect either, and I'm sure there's things that I do here or wherever, and I don't lead by example in the way that I could, and whatever. But we've always tried, I'll say at least now, maybe I was more stubborn when I was younger and I couldn't see that side of it, but now that I'm older, I try to always see other angles to everything and try to, do my best to like, if there's something we could do better, let's do it, So, yeah, anyway, I don't mean to sound like self-suck the entire time.
No,
but,
I mean, you're in good company. What have I been doing this entire call?
Well, thank you for your call.
But anyway, on that note, let me pop off. I know there's people in the Discord, and
Yeah.
I've got my question out of the way. But hey, thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much for the MLK week. It's been a blast so far.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you feel that way.
Absolutely. Well, hey, have a wonderful night, Mr. Bodie.
Thank you. You too. Take care, Costanza. Bye. Okay, that was a great call. That was a really good call. I think I saw someone emerge. Hey, Garrett. Were you gonna say something, or you just looking around?
Oh, earlier?
Yeah.
I was just looking around to see if you were live.
I am live right now.
Oh, okay.
So careful what you say.
Okay.
Don't speak ill of the.
I'm just setting up for PPS.
Okay. Let me know at any point you want me to whatever, but probably I imagine you weren't until your normal time.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. Maybe until your stream, but maybe I might have to go. I'm not sure. I was telling them I woke up like 2 hours ago. I was going to wake up early today, get stuff done, and then come in and stream. And I woke up to Derek going like, "Yo, I'm streaming. If you want to promote it or whatever." I'm like, "You're streaming." Yeah, I was like, "You're streaming now? Why is he streaming this early?" Oh, it's like almost fucking 3:00. Like what? I think I was so underslept. Whatever. But anyway, so this is a breakfast. I'm having my breakfast bagel.
Oh, I like this.
If you want any cream cheese, we have bagels out there, and this is
You got schmear?
we got spreads, so feel free to help yourself. But
Okay. Me and Brian might take you up on that too. You know him.
yeah, well, anyway, yeah, cool. Okay, I'll keep doing my thing until.
All right. Tell the viewers to sit tight.
All right, viewers, sit tight. There's a PPS happening tonight at 7 p.m. Don't think that because this is a weird week that ain't gonna happen, because it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. So don't just rest your little head about that. Also, while we're taking a moment here, Meg made this awesome new shirt design that is at shop.mega64.com. It's the MLK Week Shirt. And if you don't have one, we did it in 2 color variants. So we got those. We also put up a tour. If you missed us on tour, on the Last Laugh tour, we did a tour shirt just at our booth there at every show or whatever. And some people missed out on that. We're just doing it for the next couple of weeks. If you missed out on one, all right, next couple of weeks, next couple of days. If you missed out on one, you can grab one there, but then they're gone. We're not reprinting that. God, I have hiccups all of a sudden. But anyway, the MLK Week shirt is up now, and with that shirt, we're giving a chunk of the sales that we make, not the proceeds, or I think I think proceeds means like the profit that you make. Nah, we ain't doing that. The money that comes in, we're gonna take a chunk of that. I forget exactly what percent. It might be like 10%. I forget exactly. I'll check what we're doing. But of everything we get from those, we're gonna give to charities to get food for communities that need it. We were trying to think of like what's the best charity to do, and it's just like, you know what, dude? Food. Who doesn't need food? You know what I mean? Like, you can't go wrong. We had a lot of decisions to make, and then it's like helping communities with food. Who's not going to want that? Who's not going to need that? Let's do it. So we're looking into the best one to do that, but we're giving a chunk of the sales to that. So we're pick one of those up and check that out. I love that design. Meg did such a good job. I was shown the artwork. Again, I was on vacation, so I kind of wasn't in the planning of it. And so I saw it and I'm like, that's cool Meg did this, but like, who did she, she's more of a graphic design kind of master. And I was like, who drew that though? Like, did she have someone help out? And it was like, no, dude, Meg like sat at her tablet and drew that. I'd never seen that side of her talent before. That was really like awesome. So I was stoked about it. I really think she did a killer job. So pick up one of those shirts if you've enjoyed our streams. this week. Okay. I'm going to take some more calls here. Let's talk to, let's see, who would be good here? Tears for Fears. Now that's one of my favorite bands right there. Let's talk to them. Speaking of bands, wait, did I screw something up here? Hello? Oh, Tears for Fears is gone? Oh, no, wait, they went away. I'm going to add them back. Tears for Fears, are you there? Hello? What? I'm losing Tears for Fears. I'm going to have to move on. Pablo? Pablo, are you there? Pablo. Okay, by the way, while we're waiting for Pablo, hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, just real quick, I just wanted to tell everyone the smoked salmon cream cheese was GOAT. This was 10 out of 10. The honey pecan was delicious. Was very, very, very good. But I don't think it was the right call for the everything bagel. I think smoked salmon, you can't top that. But this was very good, but just not, maybe you don't want a honey kind of thing right now, you know? Anyway, Pablo, go ahead. You could speak freely.
What's up, man? How you doing?
How's it going?
I'm doing all right.
I'm going to have a little more.
You were talking about cream cheese. Have you ever had chive and onion cream cheese? That shit is good.
Onion cream cheese? No.
It's very good. I'm a man of savory cream cheeses. I don't know if you've seen this blueberry shit or that like weird fruit bagels. What are your thoughts on that?
A fruit bagel?
If you go to some bagel places, they got bagels with blueberries in it and shit, and there's like strawberry cream cheese. That's fucking weird. That's weird shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know if I'm down with that, but I have had cinnamon raisin bagels before, and those are pretty good. I did like those.
I can get raisin because raisins kind of, approximate to citrus. There's a little bit of bite to raisins. Yeah. I have you ever had lox on bagels? I have not had that.
Hell yes.
Is that good?
Amazing.
Is it good?
Amazing. Where
do I go to get that? I live in the fucking backwater, and I don't know if I got to go to the grocery store to buy lox.
I'm not a good help with that because the only time I've had it was we were on on tour on the East Coast, and we'd go somewhere and they would just have it. I don't know of not hole in the wall place to go,
I'm kind of in the Midlands, nowhere near the coast. I don't know if you're a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts, but they used to have incredible bagels. And a few weeks ago, I think there's some sort of international bagel shortage.
I heard about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to 4 different Dunkin' Donuts, and they're all out of bagels. And I was like, this is not possible.
Whoa.
I was like, you don't have circular bread?
Whoa. Yeah, it is a little nutty. But that's making me think. I said this earlier, but we've got like a mountain of bagels here at the studio because a bakery just gave them to us, and I'm thinking maybe we should be hoarding those. Like I'm eating them willy-nilly, but maybe we should be rationing them.
I think you should consider selling them as a little fundraiser.
Yeah.
You could get one of those fucking heated molds and put in the Mega 64 logo on these bagels and sell them to nerds on the internet.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
You'll make a shit $500 a bagel. And
easy on eBay? Easy.
It's expensive.
Easy
money. You flip that NFT, sell NFTs of the bagel. You've just doubled your income.
Well, it's not even it's not even a bagel NFT as much as you just sell it through the blockchain. So,
God,
I sell a bagel, someone takes a bite, they sell the bagel for more, and so on and so forth, and then it's just cool.
I can't figure out what the blockchain is.
No, you better find out because we're about to be on it, dude.
I'm fucking trying. It's a decentralized node system that tells people which monkey picture you own. And
Monkey,
I know
no. Monkey
Okay.
smoking a cigarette. Don't forget the cigarette.
Sick monkey. And then there's lions and shit. How does does every computer have a fucking spreadsheet? I don't get
it interlinks copies of Excel across the network.
So is everyone's fucking Bitcoin wallet like 300 gigabytes? This spreadsheet's got to be fucking huge.
Yeah, it's they all have terabyte wallets.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
What happens if the internet goes out mid-transaction? Is it possible for the money to disappear?
They have to write it down and send it to the blockchain headquarters.
You're fucking with me. There's no way that Satoshi Nakamoto, if that guy's even real, I don't think he's taking letters.
Yeah, he's got a real big mailbox.
I have a friend who was big into Dogcoin. And the biggest crypto heartbreak I saw was that fucking Elon Musk SNL episode.
Yeah.
And I had a chart live, and I watched $9,000 evaporate.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he ruined Dogcoin.
He fucking immediately. I don't know too much about Elon. Have you seen these fucking tunnels he's been making? They're like one lane.
Yeah.
How is that not going to be a huge disaster?
I saw a video from someone I know. I think they posted a video recently where they got to go down into one and use it. And then something happened and they got stuck and they were stuck in that tunnel for like an hour.
Yeah, because that's what's going to fucking happen. It's
yeah.
LA.
But it's cool. You can't open your doors or anything. It's fun.
Yeah, you can't open your doors. All self-drive. It's like, I've never even looked into Teslas because I don't really want to self-drive a car, but these have to be fucking killing people, right? There's no way that the AI in them is good enough for this shit to be on the road. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I hope that tech does get good enough. I like the idea of it, but I don't know if it's like ready yet or not. I don't know enough about that, but
I'm scared of the idea. The same reason why I'm scared of the Internet of Things in general, that anything computerized can be hacked. And as soon as I get a self-driving car, someone's going to install a fucking Bitcoin miner in my car and jack my mileage to shit.
Yeah, I don't want my mileage to make some schmuck some money. I want to.
Oh man, I've been, Jesus, fucking. I don't know. I need to get a 70s fully mechanical car because the CIA is going to crash my car into a fucking tree the day I start evading taxes. Yeah.
But the problem is that you never know. Is the mechanic going to put like a Bitcoin, Bitcoin bank in your fucking glove compartment? Even on an old car, maybe they'll do it.
The problem with all this digital
what if it Bluetooths your iPod Touch and it starts downloading dark web stuff, and suddenly you got
he deletes all my fucking Angry Birds and Flappy Birds on my iPod.
Yeah, exactly. You're not even going to be able to do it. Face app starts making you look older. The whole thing goes to.
And then
shit.
I'm fucked. And then I'll have a smart mirror, and they're going to put in filters in it to make me feel terrible, so that I don't buy my makeup. And that's the system. That's the future of the algorithm.
Exactly. Smart mirrors. Then you wake up. Check yourself in the mirror and you just feel like shit because they'll just like maybe subtly make your jaw like pudgy or something,
and we're laughing right now. This will be fucking real in 15 years.
Yeah,
this is not even a joke.
No, it'll slightly like you'll start to look like the guy from Soul Taker. You start to look whatever,
they'll
and then
make
it's like
you look like Seth Rogen.
It'll make you sound like Seth Rogen. So you'll have a funny thought to yourself, and all you'll hear is
fucking TikTok does this right now. Like I think TikTok does put like a subtle filter.
Really?
I don't use TikTok, but I've heard about it. I don't know. Maybe I've misunderstood the subject because I'm not too into TikTok, but I think there is some sort of very like smoothing filter or some shit that's like noise reduction.
I've heard and I'm being serious here. I've heard that people have detected that Apple's cameras kind of slightly do that.
Dude, why does an iPhone have 3 fucking lenses now? I think they've run out of ideas.
Yeah,
Shit
how
looks
many?
weird, man.
I mean, how many? Just look at it and take a picture, right?
I have a 10R, and like I don't know. I'm a photography guy, so I have like a DSLR like real camera. I'm not taking good photos with my phone. Yeah. I'm taking horrific pictures with my phone. Like I don't know why people are spending fucking $2,000 on the fucking 4-lens iPhone.
Yeah. Like seriously, how many pictures do you plan to take? 1 or 4 at once?
Well, yeah, and it's the same shit with the fucking 512 gigabyte iPhone storage.
Yeah.
I got 128 gigabyte, and like that's I don't know how many apps these people are using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I got I got a terabyte, so I do have a lot of.
What are you doing? You filming like 4K on your phone?
4K video, ProRes video, stuff like that. Yeah, so I do need that.
Yeah, no, I get it now. Okay, yeah, ProRes, that shit is crazy. I do some video editing stuff, and whenever I try to save something in ProRes, I hear my hard drive just fucking melting. It's like ProRes, it's like what, like 3 minutes, it ends up being 500 gigabytes?
Oh, it's something crazy like that. Like I could film for maybe like 10 seconds on here, and then that thing is done.
A prank I used to do in high school is that I would take people's phones and set it to record in slow-mo, because you could do that without the password. And then I would like hide their phone, and this would like drain everyone's battery. Their fucking phone would go from 60 to like 0 in 10 minutes. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that there's settings that are for a lot of people that are toggled to where you can do a lot of things through Siri from a locked screen. So, a lot of people don't. This is kind of a fun prank to do too, but a lot of them are still set to send texts through Siri. So, if your friend's phone is sitting there on, even if it's locked, you could go over to it, like, and hold the button, "Hey Siri, send text to mom, and say I've got corn cobs in my butt," or something like that.
Yeah.
And
you could really fuck with people by like telling Siri to call you by a nickname.
Yeah.
Because then it like appends that shit to your emails. Like if you send something from iCloud, you don't see that it sends it with the nickname, but it does.
No, I sent all kinds of emails to like corporations and stuff, and the whole time it's labeled Cockmaster.
Yeah, shit like that. It's fucking.
Yeah. No, it was terrible. I had to explain the whole thing to Sega. But anyway,
what did Sega think about it?
Yeah. Well, anyway, did you have like a kind of a question to sum it all up?
Oh no, I'm just chilling. I don't know. I don't even really watch live streams. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Take it easy. Okay. Let's talk to who else would like to talk on here. Casanodo.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh shit. What's up, Rocco?
Hey, what's up, Casanodo? You're a little quiet. Can you please speak up?
Yeah. Is this okay?
That's a little better. I mean, I wish it was a little louder, but I think it might work.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't think you've talked about this or posted about it on Twitter or on the last podcast. I feel like you might have, but I don't know if you've heard. I know a long time ago you talked about this show, and it's back. There's going to be a new Degrassi on HBO.
Yeah, new Degrassi, yes.
And I know you're also a Degrassi fan, and I just wanted to know what type of, now that it's on HBO, the stuff with Euphoria, Sopranos, all those types of shows, and then so you have that plus like the stuff that previously was on Degrassi.
Yeah.
The Kevin Smith arc, that was horrible, and then I don't know what Netflix did with Next Class. What's kind of like a storylines, or what do you kind of want from this new Degrassi now that the door is completely open? We got HBO back in it. What type of stuff do you want?
Yeah. Well, I do think people are getting their hopes up a little too much because it is Degrassi. I'm sorry, it's this new Degrassi is on HBO Family. So
Wait, what?
yeah, it's getting the headlines everywhere. Degrassi comes to HBO because HBO Max is going to have all the old episodes on it, which is awesome. That's great. Although I do have to say, all of Degrassi is on YouTube right now, like officially.
Yes.
And so I hope that doesn't go away because they do the HBO thing. Like that's kind of a bummer to me.
Yeah. Have you rewatched the Next Generation or like the original series?
Oh yeah, I was during while I was working last year. I had them on. It was great.
Oh god. Yeah, I watched all Degrassi last year. That's how crazy this pandemic has been.
Yeah.
And I remember too because around the time Next Class came out, I think that's when you mentioned it on the podcast. You were talking about that version, and that's what got me curious because I've never really gotten into Degrassi, so I was like, "What is he talking about?" And that's what started it was Next Class, but I went backwards all throughout the year.
Yeah.
So what's do you prefer the original series or Next Generation?
The 80s series classic.
Yes.
And again, it was meant to be kind of like a PBS show, you know. So it's supposed to be educational, whatever, but it's a classic 80s teen show. Degrassi High, love it. And then Degrassi The Next Generation is Degrassi at its prime. That's the best. However, I will say after about 5 or 6 seasons, I was like, all right, I'm good. Like it kind of hit a point. My opinion personally is after the shooting in the 4th season, that was kind of like, what can you really do after that? Like it puts things into perspective in a way that's like, well, now, they're arguing over they both wore the same dress to the prom. It's like that's not like, I get that's how life is. Like we kind of move on and we forget certain things and we go back to kind of our bad habits. But as a TV show, I kind of felt like after that shooting that it was too serious a thing to just go back afterwards. So I didn't think it was as good after that, but there was maybe a couple more good, fun seasons. But I felt like after that point, it was just trying to get like shock points.
Yeah, that's what I read was after that school shooting, they got like new producers, and that's why towards season 6 onwards to the end of the Next Generation, they had new producers and everything where it was literally just like, let's push the drama. Like there's that one character, Claire, she gets like pregnant and then she has cancer and then she has all the stuff all technically within 1 year of the show.
Oh my god.
Or in the storyline. Yeah. And she's been there since like season 9 with all the previous generation.
Yeah.
But because of those new producers and stuff, they really pushed a lot of storylines on her and it does not make sense at all.
Yeah.
And it's so it's bad.
Yeah, it felt like that became their priority, and it kind of got, I don't know, I felt like personally around when they sorry if I'm spoiling this for anybody, but when they stabbed JT, that whole thing felt like they just needed a shocking thing to happen in the show. Like that show always walked the line of like there was drama and it was shocking, but it was kind of educational, kind of like moral to the story, kind of whatever. The thing with JT, that happened and it felt like then they moved on real quick and it just felt like, you just needed like a death to like shock people. I don't know. I just didn't.
It was weird.
Yeah. I just hit a point where I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah. Especially, I don't know about you you went backwards too, but like going from Next Class to the Next Generation, but then all the way to the original. I think the original, even though it's from the 80s and I'm not from that time, I think it's still the morals, the messages, everything still holds up, surprisingly.
Yeah.
You can't really say that about the later Degrassi seasons.
Oh, really?
So weird, honestly. No, yeah, like there's a whole thing, like, I don't know, it's weird because, like I said, I'm not from the 80s. I'm not, from around that time. I'm not in Canada, nothing like that. But it still felt like season 1 of Junior High was weird. But season 2 onwards, all through junior or all through Degrassi High, it makes you feel as if you really are friends with these characters.
Yeah.
And they did a great job at like, with the whole thing with Joey and Caitlin, and it's like, okay, like you're with them and all that's, and then obviously the next generation ruined all that, but it's cool. I mean, I think that's kind of how like just life, ends up happening for a lot of
I wonder
things.
what hasn't aged well about the 2000s show. I'm trying to think back through all the storylines and stuff.
It's like the early stuff, it's very dated just on a surface level, but past that, I feel like the first few seasons up to, like you said, the stabbing and the shooting, I think there's just kind of like a surface level, like, oh, they're talking about computers, like a new thing. It's so crazy.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the email, like I think that was the first episode actually, was the emails. Yeah.
Yeah, he gives them a tour of the computer lab, and he's like, "These are all connected with high-speed phone lines."
Oh yeah, I remember.
Like these have 56K connection. Ooh.
Yeah, and that was tied to a moral of don't trust strangers on the internet, because that was 2000, I think 2001.
Yeah,
something like that.
But it's funny. I mean, it is kind of cool. Like at that time, somebody did have to say that. That still was kind of a fresh thing at that time. Like, you meet people on the internet? Like what?
It's just stuff like that. But then it gets to like season 7 through, I think, oh God, what was the last one? 14. It's, aside from the, shock drama, very thin stuff, it's just more like talking about there's like MySpace and Friendster. There's one where there's talking, like they just make fun of MySpace, YouTube, really weird stuff.
Yeah.
And then the next class, it's even worse. It's like what you said years ago when it first came out. It's just an onslaught of even more dated stuff. Like there's a whole storyline of a kid where he gets mad because his Degrassi wouldn't give him a graphics card for his class.
Oh.
So, yeah, and it's like he calls a girl noob. And that's it. That's the storyline. Yeah.
Wow, great stuff.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah. That's going to be on HBO, I think, You think David Chase is going to showrun it?
Yeah, I'm curious what will happen. Like I said, since it's HBO Family, I don't think it's going to be like adult in the way. I mean, Degrassi had a level of adultness to it, but like, it's not going to be like Euphoria or whatever.
That's what everyone's wanting.
Yeah.
Like everyone's making jokes about it, but yeah. I didn't know it was on Family. Fuck.
Yeah. It'll be on HBO Max like everything else, but it's an HBO Family production. So I don't know. And like somebody said in the chat, like the Netflix version of it was pretty fucking bad. So who knows?
Yeah, it was hard to go through. It was shorter though.
Yeah.
It went from 40 like an hour episodes towards the end of the Next Generation.
Yeah.
To just 20-minute episodes. It was really weird.
I think sometimes you do not need a full hour. I'm trying to remember, was Next Generation wasn't an hour, right? They were half-hour episodes.
At first, yeah, actually it was like for the longest while, for most of the show, it was only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
A lot of two-parter episodes. So yes. I guess it was kind of when they finished that generation of students, like JT, Drake, Emma and all that, when they transitioned to those new producers, I think that's when they started doing it 40-minute long episodes, and the seasons were all like 30 episodes. And it was like half
they were doing like a soap opera thing.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Bad. It was really bad. Have you seen the movies? Like the Degrassi Goes Hollywood?
Yeah, like I think I have the DVD of that. I had to see that.
Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, it's I just wanted to know your thoughts on the new Degrassi, because I think you're the only guy of the group, right, that that enjoys the
Definitely
show.
The only one here.
Yeah. But I just wanted to know your thoughts, and that was my question.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope it's good. Yeah. With HBO actually involved in the production, my hope is that it's actually a decent show, But
yeah.
part of me feels like maybe it was lightning in a bottle that early one came when it did, and it was just kind of unexpected. Maybe I don't know.
The 10 years after.
But I will say this
Matrix.
too. I also really liked the continuity of The Next Generation, where it still continued, not all the time, but sometimes continued and bookended things that did happen in the old 80s show. That, like, it seems goofy to say, but that lore actually added to the show, I thought, too. So
it did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I
So
went
with
back
that
to the original.
going a little more by the wayside, I kind of don't care as much, but we'll see. I don't know. I really don't know what to think. But as long as, Kevin Smith comes back.
No, I don't know. Well, maybe after Clerks 3. You think that's going to be part of the story?
I don't know Clerks 3. I don't know what to think about that. I'm down though.
It's happening, Rocco.
There's a lot of stuff that Kevin Smith does that I'm kind of like, really? Okay. And every now and then he'll do something. It's like, that's cool. But a lot of times it's like, maybe I'm not on the same page as this dude. But with every creator who had something that you connected with at some point, I'm always willing to give them my ticket on one thing. If they can get, I'm willing to give them a chance every so often. And I think with Kevin Smith, it's like, you know what? Make Clerks 3. Hey, I'm in. I'm going. He makes a Clerks 4. I'll go. Like, if he makes Clerks movies every decade or two, you got my ticket. Even if it's dumb, I'll probably have a good time going. Checking in on those characters or whatever. That's kind of how I feel. I'm not expecting a masterpiece, but
yeah,
I'll give him a shot.
I'll see you there in the quick stop.
Well, thank you for your call. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for answering it.
Take care. Thanks again.
All right.
I didn't hear the last thing that he said. I hope he didn't ask a question. And then I said, have a good night. But I couldn't hear the last thing that he said. Okay, let's talk to Jawla. Where'd it go? Oh. Wait, okay. Hello? Jawla.
Howdy.
Howdy.
How are you doing on this fine Tuesday night? I lose track of time.
Wednesday,
thank you. So I was just curious. We're talking about a lot of Rocco-specific things, and you're obviously very famously a huge Beatles fan. You talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Great band. But I'm curious, do you have any like big opinions or hot takes on like any of the big rival Beatles bands like the Rolling Stones or the Beach Boys or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, yes. The Beach Boys was another band that I heard a lot growing up. I heard the Beatles a lot growing up. All of the bands that I heard from like my family or my whatever that my dad played, eventually I had to like stop. I was like, okay, I've heard enough. And then later in life revisit them. And then when I did that with the Beatles, it was like, yeah, holy shit. I see why you listen to this all the time. Like I had knowledge of it, but I had to like find it on my own.
You had to make your own experience with it rather than it being your dad's band or the band you hear in like car commercials.
Exactly. And I remember listening to the new remastered Beatles albums, like on the way I was going to Japan, I think in like 2009, and listening to them. And it was like, yeah, like that was the soundtrack of that trip. Like I connected with it. The Beach Boys, I have revisited. I cannot listen to that shit anymore. Have heard enough Beach Boys. And at the time, I recognized it just as well. Like, I recognized they were like, yo, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, they were a classic band, but I have hit my fucking limit. I don't want to hear that anymore. I still recognize Pet Sounds as like, that's an iconic album. And so I'm not saying like, those people are nothing but shit. I'm not saying whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't be doing that anymore. I can't listen to that anymore. I'm over it.
I get it.
If it comes on, whatever. I'll never get tired of some songs. God only knows where I'd be, whatever. it's a classic song. I'm not going to be tired of that. But like, fuck, when Christmas rolls around and Christmas comes this time each year, I want to fucking die. I don't want to hear it.
I'm pretty big on the Beach Boys, and like the biggest thing I totally understand about it, especially their early stuff.
Yeah.
The Beatles, they played pop music, but it was a bit more forward thinking in a way, whereas like the Beach Boys were very much like in their time with their pop stuff. They got weird, and even their later pop stuff got interesting, but it's a lot more antiquated. You have to put yourself in that space rather than the Beatles feels a bit more universal, I guess.
Yes.
I will always secede that.
The Beatles have really went all over the map too, and I really love music that explores the landscape. Not that Beach Boys didn't, but it did it in a way that I think I just connected with that more. But again, I'm not saying the Beach Boys suck or they're bad or they're not talented or any. I'm not saying that. It's just, for me, I feel the same way as I mean, honestly, like there was 10 years I couldn't eat spaghetti because I had so much spaghetti growing up. It was like, oh my God, I'll die if I have to do this again. But that doesn't mean spaghetti was ever bad. And recently, I started having pasta again and I like it. That's where I'm at with the Beach Boys.
They got like a lot more commodified too, where the Beatles, like you'll occasionally hear their stuff in like commercials, movie stuff, but like Beach Boys, anytime a movie wants to be like, oh, it's a quirky surfing scene, it's the 60s, it's like they must buy those songs for like $1.
Yeah, I agree. So that's how I feel there. My dad also listened to the Monkees, but they had some catchy songs, but that wasn't my thing. Rolling Stones, I feel like I've never disliked, but I've also never connected with. Like, there's, again, not saying it's bad, but I've always heard like, yo, listen to the Stones, dude. Like, come on, it's great. Like, say whatever you want, but like, go listen to it, you'll like it. But
I can definitely agree.
What's that?
I was gonna say I could definitely agree. I listened to early Rolling Stone stuff. It's like, oh, this is fine. It's got something to it. But like, there's never been a single album of theirs that's like, oh, this is like a really landmark thing, or like, oh, this is a really good tight thing. Like, it just always feels very disjointed.
Yeah, I never thought it was bad. It never hit me, in a way. I don't know. I think what it is about the Beatles for me, why I like it so much is, again, not only exploring the musical soundscape, but landscape. You know what? I said landscape because I meant to say either landscape or soundscape.
That's a good word.
Not only did they do that, but there's also like this sense of humor to their stuff that's there. It's not in your face, but it's there. And I just feel like they could be doing the most important fucking meaningful song ever, but like the next song is going to be about, like fucking, the flavors in a box of chocolate, or
you listen to A Day in the Life, and it's like probably their most like heightened song, but you're still hearing like people counting in the background and stuff. Like their stuff always feels very like down to earth in a way that a lot of like the big crazy high art bands aren't.
Yeah, there's both a melancholy and a sense of humor wrapped up in all of it. I got to admit it's getting better all the time. And you're hearing him say it can't get no worse. It's like, here's a sincere song and they're still poking fun at their own thing in the background, So I don't know. I've just always connected with that. Nothing against the Rolling Stones, but I feel like I still haven't had my breakthrough with them, and maybe it will happen. I always heard ABBA when I would go places and I'd be like, yo, enough of this. And then, they announced their tour. I put on an album on Apple Music and something clicked where it was like, oh shit, I got to listen to all their albums, Every now and then there's something where it just hits me at the right time. I feel like I have nothing against the Stones, but it hasn't happened to me yet. It happened to me with like Led Zeppelin. I ended up listening to all their stuff and really liked it. It happened to me.
Led Zeppelin's got a lot more meat than people give him credit for.
What's that?
Led Zeppelin feels like a band that like they get put up as like, oh, they're a big cock rock band, and they definitely have that image to them, but like they've got a bit more meat to them. Like what I find with a lot of bands, it's like you hear their singles and there's like a reason, like, oh, there's a reason this clicks, but the big test is always like you listen to their albums and you realize like, oh, there's a whole other side of this band that's there, And I feel like Led Zeppelin's a big for one of those.
Yeah. Well, it also the Led Zeppelin thing was a mind blower just because I realized how many rock musicians that I like now were really ripping them off.
Totally.
No,
They changed
not,
everything.
Not even, I mean, I'm not even say ripping off like they did a crime, but you know, like I've always worshipped Jack White. Like I love anything he works on. I've always enjoyed. And then I listened to all these old Led Zeppelin things, and it's like, oh yeah, Jack White's just a fucking Led Zeppelin fanboy. Like,
yeah.
You hear so much of it in there. It's like, oh my God. And you even hear like Tenacious D in there, you know, like these other things that I enjoyed, they all just lift from that.
So. It's one of those bands where like you listen to hard rock before Led Zeppelin hits and you listen to hard rock after that. And it's like something changed here and it's Led Zeppelin. It's the same thing like later in the decade when like Van Halen came around. That's what like everybody started doing metal like that.
Yeah. It's very interesting how that is. But yeah. Yeah, I really do enjoy. It's the one thing, you know, there's always pros and cons to any movement when it comes to music. You know, it's like we had records and then it was like, but couldn't it sound better? I'm tired of records getting scratched up. And then we had CDs. Yeah. Okay, cool. But that doesn't sound quite like a record. The packaging isn't the same. So then, you know, and then digital came and it was like, well, cool. We don't have to take up all the shelf space. You have 1 million songs on your phone, but I'm missing the music experience. So then records came back, and then now we have streaming, and there's good and bad with that when it comes to not having a physical experience, but also like, you know, the artists getting paid, the artists.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
A complicated thing.
There's pros and cons.
Buy CDs. I'm holding the CD torch.
What's that?
I still buy CDs. I'm holding up the torch for CDs still. It's
sure.
amazing how hard CDs are kind of getting to be.
Yeah. Sometimes I will if that's going to be like the best quality version of something, I'll get the CD. But and if it's something I really like, I do always like to have a copy of it. But regardless, you know, there's pros and cons to the streaming stuff. But the one thing that is unabashedly a good thing about streaming is that the library you have, you can go down the deep dives on these classic bands. Because I'll tell you, never ever before Apple Music or Spotify or whatever would I have ever gone down the rabbit hole on Led Zeppelin. But because I had it, you know, I had a 4-hour drive and I listened to Led Zeppelin the whole way. And I mean, we were in it. I would say in the early 2000s, for the first 10 to 20 years, we were in a phase where you wouldn't be able to just sit with one band for that amount of time. You couldn't find it. You couldn't get it, you know?
Well, yeah, even on like a road trip, it's like, oh, I'm bringing my CD crate, and you have this big, giant, heavy crate that takes up so much space in your car and only fits like, 15 CDs. And it's like, well, I don't want all Led Zeppelin. You got to have a mix of things, you know? Then it's like, oh, do I get best ofs? Do I get albums? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
People in the car are complaining because you put on like 4 Donovan albums in a row, you know, versus streaming, like it's all just there on one single device.
Yeah. And that is really the most valuable part of it, is like the fact that I listened to the entire ABBA discography once I felt like it, you know. That is pretty cool. And now I'm like, yo, I need to go see their live show in the UK. Like, I never would have bought that ticket before, but now I'm like, oh, I'm all in. I'm going to that show. Actually, I just thought of that. I never bought tickets for it. That's probably sold out.
You fool. You got to get on it.
What an idiot. Yeah. I'll take a look. I'll take a look. But see, it's hard to book international travel right now and like even think about that.
Oh God. My brother's really big on a lot of like mid 2000s emo music. And they just announced that like when we were younger at our festival, where it's like fucking Paramore and We the Kings, all these bands. And he's saying the same thing. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cross the border at that point.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to bring up earlier. Earlier in the stream, I said, oh, speaking of bands, and then I never moved on. I never clarified. That's what I was going to bring up, was they announced this stage show or festival with all the emo bands called When We Were Young. Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
People in the chat are saying some of the bands weren't aware they were listed to play it. What?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I didn't notice until last night because, you know, I don't know what it is. I just want to say up front, I don't know what the fuck it is. I missed that entire era of music. I bypassed it completely. And I had other people tell me like, oh, maybe you were too old for it, maybe, or you were this or that, whatever. No, all my friends, my age, Sean, I'm talking everyone here. I didn't know Garrett at the time, but Sean, Derek, all the friends I had that I made in high school, theater and all that stuff, they listened to were Bright Eyes, Taking Back Sunday, Armor for Sleep, fucking Dashboard Confessional.
Heights.
That was what all my friends listened to. And I was just like Neo. Actually, literally like Neo. All I listened to was movie soundtracks, like the Matrix soundtrack, and Real Big Fish and the Aquabats. Like, that's all I had. I was into that stuff. When all my friends were like listening to sad music, I was like, why would you want to be sad? That has been like, I've always been psychologically in some other space with that stuff where I'm just like, why would you want to be sad?
That's fair.
You know, like, you're sad. Well, just don't. Like, I was that asshole where it was like, you're sad. Well, have you tried simply just not being sad? Like, that was me. I'm not saying that I would say that now, but that was my headspace back then. And
I was in a similar space. Like, I was younger at the time. Like, I was going through like grade school and all that stuff was coming out. And I was going through my classic rock because the only thing that matters is like, this modern bullshit. But in the back of my mind, it's all like, there's something here. And like, it took like most of my college years to kind of get back to my roots of like the bands my brother liked that I pretended to hate, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. Yeah. Cause I feel like a lot of people did go through that phase of music. Most people I know who are my age, but very rare thing to miss that. But that being said, it still looked like a real kick. Like, I'm looking at the lineup and I'm like, that'd be a pretty interesting show. Like even if I wasn't into that, like this is a unparalleled kind of lineup.
There's very little filler on that list. They might not have like the biggest of the big bands, but it's like every name on there. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, oh, they're still around, you know?
Right. But then I looked into it more and I was like, oh, it's in Vegas. That could be fun. But then I looked into it more and it's like, this is one day.
Wow.
That event is one day. And somebody broke down the math where it's like, okay, I think someone in the chat said it. There's going to be 3 stages. So already you're going to miss 2/3 of whoever you're there for, I'm sure. But they did the math with all the bands. It's like, they're going to be able to play like 2 to 4 songs. Like, Jesus. Like, they're going to play like 15 minutes a piece. But then today, Meg posted something about this. She's like, looked into it and it's run by the same people who did Astro World.
Oh,
yikes. So it's unfathomable to me that they wouldn't. It's such a good lineup. Why wouldn't you make a whole weekend out of it? Like, if that was a weekend thing, I would maybe make a trip. Like, I'm not even into those bands. And I would kind of maybe get a kick out of like, make a weekend out of it. I'm sure I have friends that would want to go hang out in Vegas, eat some bullshit food and go to this thing. It'll be fun, you know? But one day, and it's by those people, I don't trust that as far as I could throw it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a thing, because I know a lot of those bands were on like just like a handful of labels. Like, they were all sharing like the same, like, you know, like Warped Tour and stuff. Like, it was so easy to get all these bands as a group. Like, I wonder if it's a thing now of like, because somebody was saying like, oh, these bands don't even know they're on the list. Like, I wonder if it's just like, I don't want to call it like a full-out pump and dump or anything, but just like getting all these big names on here, like, it sounds like there's questionable things going on here. It might be
it sounds like that group is maybe trying to pay for a certain lawsuit they might be involved in. But anyway, what I was going to bring up though about it is, now I'm going to turn the tables and I have a little bit of a complaint here. Or not a complaint, but I keep seeing the same joke. This is a little bit of a pivot from what we were talking about, but I keep seeing the same joke where people are going like, yeah, well, maybe it's for the best you don't go to this anyway. All you 30-year-old emo fans with your bad backs might not want to go to a festival anyway. Guys, maybe it's better we don't go to this with how bad our backs are. I keep seeing the same joke about like, maybe it's for the best to skip this festival given, our 30-year-old bones at this point. Do you guys have fucked up bones or something? Like what? Do any 30-plus-year-old people want to chime in on this? Like, you can't go to a concert? I kept seeing that joke, and I'm like, what's the joke at this point? Like, I know it's like the self-deprecating, like, we're old. I get that. But I saw it so many times that I'm like, you guys have like a bone issue or something? Like, I kept seeing it. Where I was just like, I've been to a bunch of concerts as a 30-something person, and it's okay. Have you seen that?
To a degree, like I'm not 30 yet. I'm a young, spry lad.
Oh, well, so you're not even concerned with it.
Exactly. I'm invincible. I'm untouchable. But no, like you definitely see like jokes about that, like, oh, I'm so old now. It's all like, I feel like I don't know. Call yourself like it's a state of mind thing almost, where I feel like you know. I don't know. Again, it's like that self-deprecating joke thing, just going too far.
Yeah, I think it springs out of like the like, oh my god, these bands we loved are now like a vintage act kind of, like these are the oldies now. Oh my god, I feel so old. I get it. I get the humor from that, but I just saw it so many times. It was like, yo, I get it. Like what? What's that?
I watch Lollapalooza live streams every year, and one of the headliners for this past year was fucking Limp Bizkit, which blew a lot of people's minds because people were surprised that people still like Limp Bizkit enough that they could headline anything. But on top of that, the fact that like, oh god, he looks like a dad now. But it's like they still put on a great show, and like you look at the crowd, and like people are fucking getting into it. It's like there's a market for it. It's just people aren't fully ready to accept that like the 2000s were 20 years ago.
Yeah. I see that a lot too, and I think like when I think for me why it comes across so like, yo, stop. Like what is, I don't know. Some people are so like, that's their default is I'm so old. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm on, and they do that like the rest of their adulthood. I just feel like it starts as a joke and then you just keep doing it and you're not realizing it. And I think
I was going to say it feels like an extension of like the whole ironic detachment thing where it's like, no, just like the things you like. Stop like, oh, I'm listening to this old garbage. It's like you fucking like Lit. I don't know. And talk about the Lit albums you like. Just don't make a thing of it.
Yeah. I think that's why it comes off a little weird to me, because I know this is going to sound however it sounds, and I'm not saying this is a good or a bad thing. I don't put any thought into shit like that. I just don't. I don't worry about how old I am. I don't pay attention to that. And, I mean, people point it out to me all the time. Yo, in your newest video, you seriously bought a fucking Matrix-themed Build-A-Bear? I had people tell me like, oh, wow, grown-ass man doing that. But it's like, it doesn't even like occur to me. Where it should occur to you is, when it comes to responsibility or when it
personal stuff, emotional stuff.
You always have to get your shit together. You shouldn't act like a fucking toddler, whatever. But just in general, on a day-to-day kind of just doing my thing, I don't think about that. I don't talk about being old. Oh, well, these days I have to do this. I don't even think about that, I just address what feels good or doesn't. If I wasn't healthy, I would feel like shit doing this. That's what I focus on. I don't go, oh, because I'm so old. I do. No, it's like, probably, lift some fucking weights and you'll probably feel better. And then I do it.
With recreational fun stuff, it's like, you don't put that block in your head of all like, oh, I'm so old. I'm listening to this. Like, fuck it. Who cares?
It doesn't even occur to me. And I think I grew up in a household where that was like that. I think that's why I'm like that. Even today, like to date, I mean, my parents, and they're for all intents and purposes retired, and they were, I don't think they are right now, but they're Disneyland annual pass holders, and they'll go just like they're retired, and they'll go and they'll ride on the train and get dinner there and come back and whatever. And I see their friends their age post on Facebook like, hey, you didn't go with the kid. You didn't bring the kids. Why? What's the point of going? And it's like, I don't even think that occurs to them. It's like, no, we want to go. We went. Yeah. I think I grew up in a house where people did not pay attention to what people say they think that it should be, that something should be or whatever. And I think there's some ways maybe that wasn't the best attitude with certain again, there's, things where it's like, oh, maybe I could have like grown up more in this respect or that respect. But
again, that's like emotional, personal stuff.
Yeah,
like, when it comes to like entertainment, recreation, who gives a fuck?
That's what we're talking about here is just like having fun and the things that you're passionate about, I should say. Not even talking about fun, just the things that you're passionate about. I always think that, there's people who, this sounds like I'm blowing smoke up my own ass, and I don't mean for that, but there's always people who will tell me like, oh, I watched this video and I watched this one, and Rocco looks the same in the new Todd Naron that he does in the one from 2011 or whatever. And I don't think that's anything to do with, it's not like I have such a plan for that or whatever. I just think the power of the mind. I just don't think about, I'm old, I can't go see Panic at the Disco anymore. I just don't think about that. It's never on my mind. And I think the mind has a lot more power than people think. Because when you keep thinking you're dying, I'm just talking on a physical level. I think you manifest it. I really do. And I'm a fucking mentally still a junior high school fucking idiot. What, good or bad? There's times it's not good, but I do think it has an effect. Good, whatever you want to say about it. Anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent there, so sorry.
No, it's all about talk and have a good time.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
That was a great call. Was your question about that festival, or what was your question?
Well, no, I was asking.
Oh, the music thing. The music thing.
Beach Boys, Rolling Stone stuff. I like hearing music takes. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I should find music podcasts, but like I always perk up the most when people talk about bands they like, and that's I've been getting big on the Beach Boys lately.
Whenever I bring up music, I have I'll look. I always like to look at the feedback on our stuff and see what. In general, I don't try to get hyper specific, but I generally try to look at the feedback. And it's funny, whenever music gets brought up, I see two voices come out where I see people go like, dude, you never talk about music. Awesome. And then I see people like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, fuck that.
The bands you listen to are the lame stream.
The Beatles are normie trash.
You gotta listen to You gotta listen to Death Grips.
I say that as a Death Grips fan, but it's like, yeah, there's totally some people get so up their own ass where it's like,
yeah, but whatever. It's always funny. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But music is in a very different space, or takes. What am I trying to say here? Music exists in a different way than when I was younger. Because when you're younger, it's like, yo, everyone, did you hear about the new Michael Jackson record that came out? That's what everyone's talking about. Music is way too I cannot talk today. Compartmentalized and personalized.
No, I get you. It's so splintered now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you would have like, you listen to what's on the radio or what you buy at the CD store. But nowadays, it's like, oh, I heard this from a YouTube playlist. This is a streamer I like puts this in their pre-stream stuff. Oh, this was in a movie. This was on. I was listening to this on the radio. I was listening to this on fucking stream. It's like so splintered where like you get all like these micro fandoms for everything.
It's really interesting because even with video games, there's only so many coming out. It's like, what's coming out on PS5? Okay, we're all waiting for God of War. We're all waiting for Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever the sequel is. There's only so many games they might put out. There's a lot more indie games, but still, like on the main platforms, there's these big titles. But isn't it interesting? Music is not like that. There's just literally albums coming. There's big albums that certain fandoms are looking forward to coming out all day, every day.
And the thing with music too, it's like on vinyl, like you 40 minutes, CD, like you have an hour. Most bands seem to stick to like the 40-50 range, regardless of format. Some bands just have like fucking 100 albums. Like I said, I'm getting into the Beach Boys recently. It's like they've got 30 albums. They would put out like 3 albums a year sometimes. It's like, well, I guess there's my year. This is what I'm listening to for all year because that they just have so fucking much. Versus like even with like movies, like oh, there's this director I got into. They have 10 movies across their whole career. That's like a day and a half, you know.
Yeah.
And but like with music, it's just so fucking much.
Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting how it's gone that way, though, because it's the way that it's distributed and the way it's whatever. It's like you really can find a very specific formula of music that you like, and that's your thing. So it's harder. It's just interesting seeing people talk about it when I was younger. It's like, yeah, you really had to be into kind of 3 or 4 bands or you weren't cool. And now it's just like talking about music. It's almost a kid describing a dream. It's so specific to you. It's like, yeah. What are you talking about?
Dude, I listened to Witch House. There's this really good like Seattle area fucking whatchamacallit dump step. I once learned about dump step, which is dubstep music made with like toilet and fart noises. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
But again, like I love that there can be so many like ironic or not like micro genres of people just finding like the most pinpoint exact kind of music they love to make or listen to, and just so much is just coming out all the time.
Yeah. I'm not complaining. It's just interesting how it is and how that's changed. Anyway, well, thank you for your call.
Yeah, I'll let you go. We had a good long discussion, and I'm sure there's other people in the waiting room still.
Yeah. Well, take care.
You for this. Yeah, thank you for the whole week of streaming, and thank you for this stream in particular. Have a lovely evening, Rocco Bodie.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Good night. That was a great call. Lots of good calls. It really is interesting about calls. I find that when you pick one up, I don't know what it is. I remember, I'm going to quote Kid Rock for a minute. I know you've been waiting for me to do that all day. Quote the great poet Kid Rock. But I remember he talked about his concerts where he said he would go out and start it with, "My name is Kid," you know? And if that didn't go well, like if that sounded like shit, or he couldn't do the yell very well, you know, maybe he couldn't do it. He said, if that goes well, the whole show goes well. If that part pops off, the whole show pops off. And he said, and if that intro sucked, the show is never good after that. I kind of feel like, thank you to the prophet Kid Rock, but I kind of feel that way about taking calls on stream sometimes. Isn't that funny? I find that sometimes the first one, if it's a bad call, you know, like, "Hi, I was wondering what your boogers taste like," you know, or something weird like that. I never find that the calls recover. It's like, then it's like you take 10 more calls and they're all like, yeah, I don't really have a question. I just wanted to say I like bologna, you know, or whatever. But when you start with a good call, they're all good. Like, it's like when it rains, it pours kind of thing. Again, I'm not trying to insult anybody else's calls, but that's just what I've noticed. Rocket Pig. We'll go for a few more minutes, and then Garrett's going to be doing the PPS, so stay tuned for that. Is this click not working? What's happening here? Get this cream cheese out of here. Why can't I do it? What's happening here? I don't know what's happening. It's not, wait. It's just me. I don't know why this wasn't. Oh, it's working now. For some reason, the dragon calls around. It wasn't working. Okay. Papa Sean, are you there, Papa Sean? Papa Sean.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, do you like bologna? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, what's up?
I really hope you were joking. Did you have a comment or a question?
Yeah, you watch JoJo, right?
I am a good chunk into, like 6 or 7 episodes into part 4.
Ooh.
But I'm kind of bouncing around. I've been, I was in the middle of last year or the year before, early last year. I was in the middle of rewatching Dragon Ball Z and really enjoying that. And I was in like the Boo Saga or something like that, and just about to finish it. I kind of started bouncing back to that, and I'm doing that for a little bit. just because I didn't want to burn out, whatever. But what was the point of me bringing that up? And then Attack on Titan came back, so I'm watching some of that. So I'm kind of bouncing between a few things, but I'm a good chunk into part 4, yes, of JoJo.
Oh, nice. What do you think of part 4 compared to like? What's your favorite part, by the way? Is it like?
Oh, the last one, the fucking part 3, the Stardust Crusaders was. I mean, I like part 1 and 2; they were fine, but I was telling some people I was talking to, I was like, these are good, but I don't know if I'm connecting to this in kind of that emotional level where I'm like, oh my God, like gasping at the event. I'm like, it's fun to watch, but I don't know. And then Stardust Crusaders was like, fuck yeah. Oh no, don't hurt that guy. If you hurt Paul Naref, I swear to God, that's where I got invested. Like, so I really love that. That's my favorite so far, but so far, I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 into part 4. I've enjoyed the hell out of it so far. And they're doing some stuff kind of with the lore and whatever that I really like. So, yeah, so far, great.
Oh, nice. So I saw you went to, where'd you go at Santa Monica to buy figures? What was it called? Remember, it was like a pop-up shop.
Yeah, Tamashii Nations did a pop-up in Santa Monica.
Did they have any JoJo? Do you remember?
I don't think they had any JoJo stuff. Typically, I don't think that, because SH Figure Arts doesn't really do JoJo stuff. But I think Bandai has done a few items, but I didn't see anything there. And
you collect JoJo figures, right? I think.
No, the only one I have is the Polnareff Nendoroid because I love that character.
Oh.
That's the only one I have. I don't think I could collect figures for every show that I watch. But there's been some that caught my eye, and that Nendoroid I loved. I loved it.
Oh, I was gonna say if you are, I know Anime Expo's coming up in July. They usually have like some rare JoJo figures there.
Yeah.
If you go to that.
I'm sure I'm gonna be perusing that now for sure.
Oh yeah.
I want to say something about that Tamashii Nations pop-up real quick. I'm not saying this to be, I'm not complaining, but it was funny. They announced they were going to do a pop-up store in Santa Monica, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I tweeted about it. I'm like, dude, they're doing a pop-up. All these rare SH Figure Arts, that's kind of one of the main things I collect. They do amazing Dragon Ball figures, they do all kinds of different series, Kamen Rider and, whatever. And so I really love those. I was really excited about going, and I tweeted about it. And they reached out to me like, "Hey, let us know when you're coming up. Like, we will give you the tour, and show you around." I was like, "Hell yes!" Oh, I was so excited. And then I went, and I was like messaging them like, "Hey, I'm coming up on this Wednesday. Coming up. I'm letting you know." And it was like, "Okay, anybody? I'm coming up." And I went there, and it was the weird, like no one had, I think no one that reached out was there. I never got a response. And when I got there, it was weird. Like I walked in, and it was like, there was no music or anything. There was just kind of like 2 people standing in there. Like, I was like, oh, hi. I sent a thing to someone. No one knew about it. Okay. Okay. So I just looked around in silence, and like everyone was just kind of like looking at me. I'm not saying this this was a bad experience, but it was really weird. Like I would think they would have been playing like promo videos or something with the volume. And it was like, I went in there, and it was just like, I was the only customer in there. It was just like,
wow.
Okay.
Damn.
Do you guys have Super Saiyan God Goku, the metallic one that you did? Right there? Okay. Just no one was saying anything. It was like, I thought you wanted me to come up here. Okay. No one said anything, and that's fine. I think whoever messaged me maybe wasn't there at that time or during that period or whatever. But it was very like, it was it was like quiet in there that it was like, oh, I thought I was going into a way more exciting thing. You got like Dragon Ball stuff everywhere. Like, why aren't we playing Dragon Ball on the TV? So it was kind of a weird pop-up experience, but they had a great selection and I bought a ton of stuff. So it worked out. It was great, but it was very like odd setup. I would have been playing like Cha-La Head Cha-La like super loud. But anyway.
Those pop-up stores aren't in Santa Monica anymore, right? Or San Francisco? They're all gone now or something?
I'm not really sure. I don't always follow that. I only know about the Tamashii Nations one.
Oh.
So, but it was really cool though. I got what else did I get there? I'm trying to remember. They had all these like event exclusive things. They just had sitting there like, yeah, we got some. But it was scary. They were all just kind of standing there waiting for me to pick them up. Like they were all just looking at me. It was weird. It was very weird. Anyway.
All right, man. I'll let other people get on because I didn't think you were gonna pick me.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Shy and stuff. My bad.
No, it's all good. Thank you for your call.
Hey. All right, later.
Take care. Okay, let's take one goodbye, like one last goodbye call to end the night. Let's just say goodbye. Guys, stick around. The Poorly Played stream is coming up in just, like a couple minutes. Stick around for the PPS. The final call. Here we go.
Hey.
Andre Y.
Yep.
We are ending the stream now, so if you got something to say, take us out.
I was gonna ask about like we can't go into any like long discussions or anything. Is this ending call?
I mean, we'll see. You better, roll the dice, see what happens.
Yeah, I was wondering because like I got into Mega 64 quite like just recently. Actually, I started watching you guys in the podcast and seeing all the content you guys make, and I love your enthusiasm about Evangelion. Like I recently got into Evangelion myself. I did it the right way. I watched like Neon Genesis. I watched the end of Eva. And then I watched the Rebuild films, and it was just like, whoa, like it was my first time getting into a mecha series that delved so deep into the human psyche and the human condition and everything and all, and it was great. So I was wondering what made you so, because when I saw your video going into the latest film, and it was like, oh, this guy's like really enthusiastic about like this is really great to watch. Like what sucked you in as a fan, like to Evangelion as a whole?
I don't have time to answer it.
You know.
Take care.
All right.
Have a good night.
Take it easy. You too.
Yeah.
Is this mic on? Hello. Due to time constraints, I'm going to have to pull the plug.
Damn.
I know you were getting into some deep stuff right there, but I'm going to have to end it.
All right.